Hey guys, Oblyvion here, coming at you with a Yosenju deck profile. I know it's been a long time, and I just, I wanted to get back out there on Yu-Gi-Oh! And I decided, why not with Yosenjus? I mean, they I feel are one of the best budget competitive decks out there that can still compete. Now, this is an extreme budget deck, and it's not that I don't have monies to break out Card of Demise or Solemn Strikes. It's just, I believe I can beat the format without actually playing expensive cards, and I'm gonna try to make profiles now solely on budget based. I'm talking about things that you can probably pick up for $1, $2. Probably the most expensive card here is probably worth more like $5. You understand? But this is gonna be a budget version of Yosenju's. I took it to locals yesterday, and I went 4-2. It was super fun. I did borrow most of my side deck cards, so I'm probably not going to be showing my side deck, though I will be showing an image of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro deck. Basically the same copy, maybe 1 or 2 card difference, but it would have the extra deck and the side deck there, and you guys can mimic that if you guys don't want to stick through the profile. So yesterday was my first time I went to locals in a really long time, probably in like a year tops, and nice to see that things haven't changed. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still a broken-ass game, and let's stop with the talking and let's get to the profile, alright? So, like classic, we're going to start off with the monsters. We're going to be playing 3-1. This is the bouncer. People always read it because they're like, oh, it bounces, it bounces face-up cards, and if you have 2-1s on the field, you can use their effects, both of them. 3-2s and 3-3s. I apologize if the camera is a little bit off. I'm kind of recording through my laptop, but I've seen people bump this down to 2, and I can see why, because it does clog. But so far I'm liking 2 just because the extra normal summon, and it's easier to OTK. I believe that that's something that people generally miss of Yosenju's. Like, it can OTK super fast, attack, and then attack one more time with the Sujic buff, and then just double cowboy for game. It's really easy to OTK, and I did it probably like twice against ABCs and once against Resonator Synchro, and it was pretty good. Like, they didn't expect it. For the other comma, I'm running one Yosenju Sujic. I think Sujic's pretty good. I've been playing with this. I apologize. Let me get this out of the way. I've been playing with one Sujic. I usually run this at 2, and I mean, I like 2, but I also like 1 just for the mere fact that I can search it. But the attack boost is so nice. Basically, you can target one Yosenju monster or itself, and you can just boost its attack by 1,000. It just makes your OTKs a lot easier with Yosenju, 1 or your Yosenju, 2, and it's incredible with Tanky because you gain the extra 100 boost, and it's really nice. And for the last Yosenju monster I'm playing 2 Yosenju L's. Now, the thing is, since I'm a budget player, guys, I know that this card isn't that good. If you guys have buy other cards, I was actually taking these out, and I had like the Commandant Necro Value build, and that build was also good, but I felt like it didn't fit my playstyle. I couldn't play Yosenju Secret Move. I could not. And Yosenju Secret Move is so good to like canceling out those pesky field spells like Union Factory or whatever, the ABC field spell that's freaking broken, and that's the only reason why I play this. I know that there's not that much destruction going on. I know that all the mirror forces are basically bouncing back or shuffling back into deck, and they don't target, so this is basically useless. But you guys gotta understand, I play this for the sole reason of playing Secret Move. Like I said, this is a budget deck, and it actually did so much work for me. Did I ever use this destruction effect that basically if a Yosenju monster or monsters were to get destroyed, I can destroy this card instead? No, I never used that effect. But this card came so in handy because you basically run a Judgment, and your Judgment is basically your win condition, in my opinion, just because Judgment is really good. Just Yosenju Secret Move is basically a Judgment, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, this card is I like it. If you guys want to run Thunder King over it, if you guys just want to run the Necro Valley, the one Commandant and the Necro Valley engine, that's perfectly fine. And I also believe the Necro Valley engine is actually one of the most viable engines for Yosenjus, just because Necro Valley is an amazing card and you don't utilize the grave. And for the last 2 monsters, I am running one sticky whatever kaiju, the 2400 one, and then the one proxy Gamma Seal. I apologize. If you guys have 2 Gamma Seals, please run 2 Gamma Seals. The Gamma Seals is the 2200 attack, 3000 defense. You can basically combo it great with Kaiju common 1, you basically tribute, and then you bounce back with common 1, and you can just kind of keep on reusing. It gets over the ABCs, it gets over the Blue Eyes Synchro. It's great. The Kaijus are a great addition to this deck. I was running 2 Thunder Kings in place of the Kaijus, but I feel like Thunder King, if you don't get it out early and you draw Kaiju, if you draw Thunder King mid game, the Thunder King's not going to do anything. It stops your plays. It stops your secret move plays. And I feel like right now that's what I'm kind of mainly focusing the deck on, just because, like I said, we're a budget player. We don't play Card of Demise. We don't play Solemn Strikes. But believe me, guys, if you have those cards, this deck is probably not for you, because this is a budget deck. If you want to compete in a low budget setting, this deck is for you. Alright, so for the spells, I believe that was 14 monsters. Now for the spells, I believe I run 10. 3 tanky, because searching is good. I've seen people run this at 2, but then again, we don't play Card of the Demise, and they probably do. 3 duality. We don't special summon, pretty good. And with the 1 pot of duality. The 1 Upstart Goblin, I apologize. Upstart Goblin is just really good for the draw. Like I said, you OTK like crazy, so giving your opponent 1,000 life points doesn't really matter to you. For destruction, 2 Dark Hole. I was trying to pick up Raigekis. Like, 2 Dark Hole, 1 Raigeki, just as much board kill as possible is amazing for this deck. So if you have the Raigeki, please play it. You guys can just cut off like a Dimensional Fissure or an MST or whatever that I'm going to show you. But 2 Raigekis actually put in a lot of work, because I played lose 1 turn, and basically once I flipped lose 1 turn, they're basically your effects kind of. And I had like a D Fissure or Macro, I would just Dark Hole the field, and they would usually not get any effects. So Dark Hole, Raigeki, please, if you have Raigeki, please play it. But Raigeki right now is like a $15 card, and I don't feel like busting out $15 for 1 card. 2 MSTs. I honestly, this was pretty bad. I never played MST against the Dark Synchro, the Dark Resonator Synchro deck. I never played MSTs against the. I never saw it against the. The ABCs, and I think I used the ones against like Blue Eyes, and that's basically it. That was weird, but yeah, and I spent most of this just baiting it with Twin Twister. I would like draw an MST, set in, they would like Twin Twister and MST and something else. But yeah, MST right now, this isn't MST's best format. And I also hit like a Mirror Force. That would have been really good. That was really good. I hit a Mirror Force, but MST not really the best this format. And then 1 Dimensional Fissure. Again, this card is actually not that good against ABCs, because they could just go Tsukuyomi or whatever and go into an XYZ, and their monsters still go to the grave and then just banish for ABC or whatever dragon. And I don't know. This card is, like I said, not really that good. Like if I were to switch out, I'd probably play. I'll take out 1 MST for a Raigeki, and then I'll take out the other MST and the Dimensional Fissure for a Necro Valley, because that would be like the best one, and you can try to fit a Commandant wherever you want. But yeah, that's it for the spells. I believe those are 10 spells, maybe. It's a 40 card deck, so whatever. For the trash, we're running the obligatory, 1-0s. We're running the 1 warning. No Solemn Strikes, unfortunately. If you have small Solemn Strikes, fit in 2, even 3. Solemn Strikes are great, but we do run our own version of Solemn Strike. 1 Torrential Tribute for the swarming. 1 Macrocosmos. This 1 game single-handedly, Macrocosmos is great. Even if you do run the Necro Valley build, please run the Macrocosmos in the main deck, because it's so good. It wins you games against ABCs, against Blue Eyes, against Dark Synchros. It's so good. 1 Bottomless Trap Hole and 1 Vanities, because they're pretty good. You don't special summon, and usually things will go from your field to your graveyard. And I remember once I had a Macrocosmos set, and I flipped it, and then I flipped Vanities, I believe, later that turn, and he couldn't do anything, because even if something got destroyed, it got banished instead because of Macrocosmos. So my Vanities stay on the field, and it was a pretty good time for me. It was pretty good. And then for the rest of the traps, we play 2 lose 1 turns. These are pretty good. Lose 1 turns are just just replacement of Fiendish Chains. Right now, like targeted effect negation isn't really the best, so I kind of cut Fiendish Chain. But these are $2-3, so they're pretty budget, and they're pretty good. Stops a majority of the plays early on, and what I really liked about them, honestly, my most favorite thing about this card is that they set it in defense position, and usually monsters have slightly less defense than their attack, and that just helped me out. Like if I needed to beat over something, I would play Sujik or a Kama or whatever, and yeah, it was a good time. So yeah, 2 lose 1 turn is pretty good. This is a personal attack of mine because like this is where the budget side of me actually starts popping up, and I think it's pretty funny here. So I was looking, Twin Twister actually wrecks this deck. So I was thinking, man, Starlight Rogue's pretty good, but then Solemn Strikes is a thing, so I didn't want to play something that would special summon, and then you can just change Solemn Strike, and you'd still lose your back row. Because if this deck, you lose your back row, you're kind of done. So I was like, man, what can I play that would kind of be a replacement for like against Twin Twister, or like spells, like Union Factory or whatever. I was like, damn, what can I play? Like, Dark Bribe is a card, but ugh. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, Magic Drain. Now, this is throwback as fuck. Like, I flipped this multiple times on people, and they would be like, what the fuck are you? Like, what are you playing? And, like, I flipped it, and they had to read it. So, basically, it's a counter trap. If your opponent activates a spell card, if they want the spell to resolve, they have to discard a spell, or you negate the effect. So, let's say they activate Twin Twister, they have to discard a spell to resolve it. And if they discard it, so they would pay a cost for Twin Twister, which is a discard already because it's a cost, and then they'll have to discard another spell card because of Magic Drain, and that'll make them go minus. Yeah, that's fine. You can probably, do whatever. You can probably take out maybe 2 of my back rows. That's fine. I'm probably going to draw into more anyways, or just beat you down with my Yosenjus, but you're still going to go minus, and that'll really damper their plays. If you guys don't like this card, that's fine. You guys can play Dark Bribe. Dark Bribe is another really nice card to play, but you do let your opponent draw a card, and I already run a card that kind of lets your opponent draw, so I wanted to minimize that, and that's why I did not play Dark Bribe. My replacement for Solemn Strikes are 2 Grand Horn of Heaven. Now, this card right here is basically when opponent's monster is summoned, parentheses S, negate the summon and let your opponent draw a card, and then end the main phase. So they have to go directly into battle phase, and then they go into main phase 2. The thing about this card is that it stops battle phase. That means that you usually have an open board, and I don't really play much battle traps. I don't play Mirror Forces because Mirror Forces are like what, $10 a piece. Drowning Mirror Forces are like $20 a piece. So I don't play a lot of battle traps. So you really want to stop the big summons. So yes, this is kind of like a whatever card because you let your opponent draw a card. The thing is that it ends the main phase, and it also ends the battle phase, because more than likely your opponent's not going to do anything in battle phase. My opponents did nothing in battle phase, so they went directly to main phase 2. So yeah, they can continue, let's say, their quote unquote shenanigans, but this is basically a Solemn Strike, and it stops your plays. I personally think it's pretty good. It stops the ABC summon, yada yada. Keep in mind that this is just inherent summon, so nothing that starts a chain. Please keep that in mind. So something that starts a chain would be like, I don't know, I can't really think of anything right now, but like it only stops XYZ summons, fusion summons, special summons, inherent summons. All right, so keep that in mind, please. Like don't think like I think it doesn't stop Call of the Haunted or anything because it starts a chain or something like that. So keep that in mind. But still, it was a pretty good card. Not gonna lie, it threw a lot of people off guard, and like I got called many names because it was being janky. And like the main card of this deck, the only reason why I run fucking Sujik L, is because of this card right here. It's a Solemn Judgment for the goddamn deck. It's so good, boys. It's so good. So like I said, we're freaking broke, alright? I mean, I can bust out money for it if I really wanted to, but I don't want to. Alright, I think this is a fun, casual game, and it should be like that, And plus, Strike is gonna probably get nerfed and banned or whatever, and Card of the Demise is gonna get fucking banned too, so it doesn't matter. Yosenju's secret move, Solemn Judgment for the deck. That's just how it is. It's so good. It stops so many cards. Union Hanger. It stops the summon of Synchro Materials, and then they're like, I really like this. Like I said, this and an L, or is it this and L? Basically, you have to have a face-up Yosenju monster. Only one face-up Yosenju monster. You cannot have any other monsters. That's why I decided to cut Thunder King from the main board and put it in the side and replace it for Gamma Seals or the Kaijus. So basically, you would have this on the field as a pendulum or whatever, and then you can still activate it because you still have a Yosenju card face-up. So you can still activate it, and that's pretty good. Like, no one's going to waste a Twin Twister on Yosenju, like, no one. So, this is pretty good. It stopped from a lot of things. And that is basically it for the deck profile, guys. I know that the deck is a little janky, but trust me, it worked. It was fun. Like I said, there's always going to be a picture on the description if you guys don't want to see the profile. Also, again, just letting you know, if you guys want to run Necro Valley or you guys have Card Demise, please fit that in, because that would just make this deck infinitely better. Yes, I did play test with Card Demise. Yes, I did place with Solemn Trike, and they're amazing cards. They literally, like, I wouldn't struggle in nearly half the matchups that I already do if I had those cards. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because I'm going to show you guys that you guys can beat the meta just by playing Budget. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this profile. My name is Oblyvion. Catch you guys later.